Karibuni kwa Levy Mwanawasa Stadium. Jina langu ni Mike Movanga. I'm the media officer for the Football Association of Zambia here at the Levy Mwanawasa Stadium for Saturday's crucial CAF Champions League second round, first leg qualifier match between Zambian champions Power Dynamos and Simba Sports Club of Tanzania. So we are at Levy Mwanawasa Stadium, and obviously it sits right in Ndola city, which is the commercial capital of the Copperbelt province. So Copperbelt province is one of the 10 provinces in Zambia. It is a mining province, and Ndola sits as a commercial hub. So everything commercial is done here in Ndola. So where we are at Levy Mwanawasa Stadium. It's on the Ndola-Kitwe dual carriage. So this road takes you to Kitwe, which also is one of the busiest cities here on the Copperbelt. But before Kitwe, there is Uwanja. So Ndola pretty much sits at a strategic place, and this is where the Levy Mwanawasa Stadium is. So around 13 years ago, this stadium was built. Obviously, it's the first of its kind to be built in Zambia. Before this stadium, we never had a stadium of this nature, and Levy Mwanawasa Stadium came alive 13 years ago. So in 2012, it hosted its first big game, which was a 2014 World Cup qualifier match between Zambia and Ghana, and luckily Zambia scored and won that game 1-0. So it's the first game, Zambia versus Ghana, and Zambia won. The Chipolopolo won that game. So it was a very beautiful atmosphere. You can imagine everyone that came traveled to watch the big game. It just came after the Africa Cup. So after Zambia won the Africa Cup in 2012, in June, it hosted this World Cup qualifier match. It was a big game, and Zambia won 1-0. So that's the history about the first game that this stadium has ever hosted. So this stadium seats over 40,000, 45,000, over 40,000 fans, and on any given day, this stadium is full to capacity, especially when the Chipolopolo are playing, when the Zambia men's national team are playing. And it's named Levy Mwanawasa after our former president, Levy Patrick Mwanawasa, who saved us from 2001 to 2008 when he died. It was quite unfortunate that we lost him when he was a sitting president. He died after an illness. So in memory of Levy Patrick Mwanawasa, this stadium gets the name from our former president, Levy Patrick Mwanawasa. So there's been many games that this stadium has hosted, and fans have traveled from outside Zambia, within the borders to watch the games. One of the biggest international games that this stadium hosted was in 2013, Zambia versus Norway. It was a friendly match, big crowds. There was pretty much everyone that came to watch that game. It's also hosted a game against the Super Eagles of Nigeria. That time was a qualifier match as well. Big players came here, the likes of Kelechi, Nayacho, and all the Nigerian stars that you would think of at that time. So it also has hosted very big club games. Sundowns has been here, Kaizer Chiefs, the South Africans have been here, Zesco United has played SuperSport here, and Nkana have also played. I've used this stadium as a home ground. So it's a marvel. It's a spectacle. You can see from the way it's designed. Actually, I must mention that it was built by the Chinese. So Chinese did a masterpiece of this stadium that sits right here in Ndola. So obviously, there are two big stadiums in Zambia: Levy Mwanawasa Stadium in Ndola, Heroes National Stadium in Lusaka. So the Chipolopolo also use Levy Mwanawasa Stadium as their home ground. As recent as in June, this stadium hosted a very big game, which I forgot to mention. Zambia versus Ivory Coast was played here, and Zambia won by 3-0. Goals were scored on the other side of the net, not where we are. But obviously, it was a big game. That game signified Zambia's qualification path to the Africa Cup of Nations. So apart from Zambia, Zesco United uses this stadium as their home. They've played big games, the ones that I've mentioned, and also sometimes it's used to play big matches that are played on TV right here. So Zesco United use this stadium. Obviously, Zesco is sponsored by the electricity company, but they've used this stadium as their home. Tomorrow is a big day. Saturday is a big day because there's not been many Champions League matches that have been played as big as the Power Dynamos versus Simba Sports Club. Obviously, Power Dynamos are the Zambian champions. Simba Sports Club have also done very well in Tanzania. So Saturday's game promises to be explosive. One thing that I can assure you is that there will be a lot of fans from both sides. Both sets of teams command a huge following. Simba fans, we've seen on the media, they've traveled in their numbers. But even without traveling, Simba have got supporters right here in Zambia, right here in Ndola. Power Dynamos, although not coming from Ndola, they're just a few minutes away from here, Kitwe. They'll also have a huge following. So tomorrow, Saturday, promises to be a big spectacle. We should expect a lot of fans. Beautiful noise from the yellow Power Dynamos and the red from Simba. It will be yellow versus red. Whoever will win, obviously, but the name of the game will win because fans rarely get to see such games. So it promises to be a big game, and we can just call upon all fans to come through and watch the games and see their best players. Simba have got Zambians in their team. Cletus Chotachama, very good midfielder. They've also got attacker Moses Piri. So there's every reason that one needs to come and watch Simba. There's also a very big reason that one needs to come and watch Power Dynamos. So Power Dynamos versus Simba on any given day is a big game. So tomorrow promises to be even a bigger day. When Simba comes here, obviously Simba wants to win because they've played well in the Champions League. Last season, they played so well. I think they lost in the semi-finals, if I'm not mistaken. And so they want to go a stage better, a stage better by getting in the group stages, because if Simba doesn't win tomorrow, then they'll not be better than last season. So fans will talk about how Simba needs to go back to the Champions League, group stages. Fans from Power Dynamos also, the last time that they played such a game was 11 years ago in 2012 when they won the league in 2011. So also they are saying that they need to play in the Champions League group stages, and that's the level of conversation that's there. But obviously the pitch, this Levy Mwanawasa Stadium pitch, will decide which sets of fans who have said the truth and which team will go with an advantage as they go to the Benjamin Mkapa Stadium for the second leg.
Wish you all the best.
Thank you very much. Asante sana, and until next time.